Time is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Oh my God, they tried to keep me off air, but here I am. It is the Karel Show on this Monday, January 12th. We have got so much to talk about. I'm just bursting to get to you, so don't go anywhere before I burst, and it won't look good on my purple.
Now it's showtime.
Hello again. It is the Karel Show. I am Karel. It is Monday, January 12th. We've got to talk about ICE. We've got to talk about Trump. We've got to talk about striking nurses. We've got to talk about so many things. But before we do, first of all, thanks for all your concern about my tooth. I see the dentist at 3 o'clock. It stopped throbbing. They put me on Augmentin yesterday, and I hate taking it. It's such a powerful antibiotic, but I am. Also, I spent the weekend doing something, and I hope all of you are not going to get mad at me. I really do. I need to hit a reset button, as does America, okay? We all need to hit a reset button. We have let Trump and all the darkness that is that regime infect our lives, make us feel hopeless, make us feel trapped, and more importantly, make us feel angry. And as it's done all of those things, we ain't living. You know, we're existing. We're marking time. We're waiting for him to, have a coronary or get impeached or whatever. And we're spending time waiting. And honey, we ain't got the time, okay? The only thing that is for sure is that we are aging. Okay, so I'm not going to just do this anymore. So over the weekend, I scrubbed all of my content off the internet, and I'm going to need your help. I also deleted all of my social media accounts. I am starting brand new. Why? Because I feel brand new. Because I feel like now is the time for reinvention, Madonna. Now is the time. I was headed down a path and in a way that I did not approve of. Okay? And when I scrubbed 1,740 episodes from the web, Donald Trump's name was in over 1,000 of those episodes in the headline, like the major thing that we talked about. And I'm like, there's got to be more to life since 2016. For 10 years, he has just dominated us. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready to reset. Now, let me tell you one of the real reasons why I did this. Many influencers over the weekend had FBI show up at their house about comments they've made, comments they've posted, all of that. Now, some of you who are my long-term fans may remember that back in 2000 on KFI, I asked Andrew, do you see any way that Al Gore could take the White House? And Andrew said, well, he could pull a shotgun and shoot his opponent. Someone reported us, and Agent Darcy from the Secret Service came to interview us about the death threats we made against George W. Bush. We never made a death threat, ever. We never said someone should shoot him. It was a flippant comment by Andrew, but we had a cadre of lawyers and nothing really came of it other than an interview. However, I have a file, okay? I have a file at the Secret Service and at the FBI. And in that file, it already says I was investigated for threats against George W. Bush, even though I didn't make any, and even though it was Andrew that said it. So I don't need any more hassle. And in my anger over the last 10 years, I have said some pretty far out things that, you know what, you and I fully agree with, and you and I know that I don't mean anything by it, but some stranger, who knows how they would interpret it in today's world. And that's not what I want to put out there, okay? I don't advocate violence. I don't want, anyone to go out and be harmed. I don't. Now, if the law dictates that something happens to you, like if you're convicted of a crime and that crime is a war crime, and you're tried at The Hague, and they say they're going to, hang you or shoot you, but that's the punishment. Okay, I mean, you had a trial, and, it came to that, whatever. But in terms of us taking matters into our own hands and doing violence, that's not who you and I are, and that's not who we're going to let them make us. The best revenge against MAGA is to live a good life, the best that you can. The best revenge against Donald Trump is to not let him infest your world and rally against him. I got to a point where I was telling you that going to rallies doesn't matter. What's it matter if you go to the No Kings rally or whether they're still going to be president? What a defeatist fucker I was. Go to your rallies. Show up in the streets. Feel good about yourself. Feel good about what you're doing. Let's not take this lying down.
Visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
See, I'm bursting. I heard an episode last night where you guys were commenting, "Oh, Karel, it's great that you're in a good mood today." I apologize for being in a pissed off mood every day and doing some pissed off show, for raining on your parade, for going out and exercising your rights to protest and to carry your signs. You know what? I started to be a Debbie Downer, and that's why I am starting over. All fresh. So I need you to do a couple things, first of all. Everybody listening, I can't go live on Instagram or TikTok unless I have 1,000 followers. And I just started the new accounts over the weekend. So everyone on Instagram, please go follow Karel Official. Karel Official. Please go follow Karel Official. Everybody on TikTok, go follow Official Karel. So that might be confusing, but it's the best I could do. Instagram, Karel, Karel Official. Go follow it now, please. Right now. Go do it, please. I need to get 1,000 followers so I can go live. The same on TikTok. Official Karel. Okay? Official Karel. So one is Karel Official and the other is Official Karel. Please go to social media and follow those two accounts today. Please go do that. I need your help. Second of all, some of you that got my patron message, I'm going to create an online archive of all of my shows, and my patrons will have access to that. So you're still going to have access to all my angry, mad, depressing shows. It's just going to take me a while to get the archive up, okay? But those will be private, and they'll be just for you on Patreon. The entire world shouldn't get my entire catalog for free. If you want to hear my past shows, become a patron. All right, so we'll get that up in the next month. That's a couple things. The other thing is, some of you patrons were worried that I wasn't going to be the same angry me or be, and honey, trust me, fuck ICE, okay? 3,000 ICE in Minneapolis. Fuck them. I would say that they are trailer trash. They're not, because you know how I know? Because trailer trash are some of the kindest people in the world. Trailer trash will feed you if they're only eating ramen. Trailer trash, if they ain't got but 50 cents, will give you a quarter if you need it. Trailer trash are not bad people. They just poor. Okay? ICE is filled with racist, MAGA, Proud Boy wannabes. They are uneducated. And here's the beauty of it. All right? First of all, I still believe, and I'm going to ask my friend, the governor of California, and see his input on this. I still believe the governor of a state should be able to just deploy the National Guard to defend his citizens, including against ICE. And I don't know the legality of that. It is above my pay grade. I don't know the constitutionality of that. I do know that the National Guard is there to protect the state. Therefore, I believe states' governors should be deploying the National Guard and local law enforcement to protect their citizens. Okay? Now, it's going to take us telling the governors of our state that we don't want ICE, and that if they allow ICE in our state, we will not vote for them. Lombardo is up for re-election here in Nevada. Let's make it clear to that fucker that if he lets ICE on our streets anymore, he's leaving. Okay? So that's the first thing. These are uneducated. You don't see black people in ICE. You don't see brown people. You don't see Asian people. It's a bunch of undereducated white boys that Trump can manipulate. Here's the beauty. What happened to Hitler's SS? First of all, Hitler's first Gestapo paramilitary organization, the brown shirts, mostly gay, they were killed in their sleep by the SS. They were. Okay, that's what happened to them. When the SS took over as the official jackboot thugs of Hitler, after Hitler fell, what do you suppose happened to them? They were tried as war criminals, and many were executed. They were thrown into jails around the world, and many of them committed suicide because they knew what was going to happen. So if you're out there as some ridiculous ICE agent with your face covered, and you think that, oh, this is a great job because I get to be an asshole with power, guess what? You ain't always going to have the power. And when things change, and they always do, your ass is going to be prosecuted for murder, harassment, for assault. So you know what? ICE, your days are numbered. As soon as the Democrats take over in November, and they're going to, as soon as they do, you're done. And every one of you, just this morning, someone told someone in a car, you better stop or we'll shoot you. Didn't you learn anything? Last night at the Golden Globes, they were wearing buttons for Miss Good, who got shot in Minneapolis. People are calling it, at the Golden Globes, a dictatorship. We're swinging in the right direction now, people. And the more ICE does, the angrier the public becomes. And that's what we need. And while I applaud citizens for surrounding these people and kicking them out of their community, that should be the National Guard. It shouldn't be up to you and I to defend our neighbor. The National Guard should be there. And I can only hope that governors hear me and hear you and start deploying law enforcement, because these jackboot ignorant motherfuckers are breaking the law. Okay? They are breaking the law. There is no federal law that allows them to stop people without a warrant. There is no federal law that allows them to break into people's houses without due process. There is no federal law that allows them to grab people and disappear them without any kind of due process. There isn't. Trump has ordered it. He is guilty of many crimes, and he's going to get his too. I hope he's impeached. I hope his cabinet is put in jail. I can't wait to see Kristi Noem in orange, honey. And the only orange Donald Trump should be wearing now is a prison suit. You know how I know it's going to change? Because we're not going back. We're not giving in. We are going to fight. You know, when you get a major illness, sometimes you give up because you think, I can't win. I can't beat this. But even people with terminal illnesses still fight. Right up until the very end. They don't give in. I gave in. I gave in to hatred. I gave in to defeat. I gave in to so many things because it's easier. Yes, it's a dark time in our country right now. And I'm still not convinced that a lot of us should stay here. I believe if you have the resources, you really should look into getting out until Trump is gone. But that's if you can do it. If you can't, then don't give up. Don't despair. We are on your side and we are going to fight. We are not going to let these ignorant morons take over our news feeds. Look at CBS. The only thing you see at CBS is BS. So stop watching it. Let their ratings plummet. Let them stop making money. Show them there's no profit in hatred and bigotry and amplifying a message of hatred and bigotry. On this show, from now on, we are empowered. On this show, from now on, we entertain. That's why the name of the show is changing. And what a simple little word can do. When I named this show the Karel Cast, it's because I came from KFI and KGO. And thank you, Joshua Tigner. He sent me a clip of Bernie Ward talking about me back in the day from the KGO All-Stars, where me and Bill got into a fight. And I didn't know that Bernie Ward said, oh, Karel could take Bernie Ward. One punch from Karel and Bernie would have been on the ground. I never heard him say that. I was rolling on the floor laughing because I could have beaten up that mean old fuck. I've encountered mean old fucks before. Donald Trump, Bill Wattenberg, they're the same type asshole, honey. The kind that gay men don't like. We don't like all assholes, okay? You are safe here. This is a space for you. And yes, I'll be your anger. I'll be your passion, but I'll also be your joy. And I'll be your happiness. I will be what you need me to be because that is my fucking job. It is not my job to sit here every day and be depressed and give up and start saying things like we should go hurt people and stuff. No, we should not. Vote their asses out of office? Yes. Make it clear to every Republican and Democrat, if you don't start standing up to this asshole right now, you're the one that's going to suffer. You're the one that's going to be voted out of office. You're the one that's going to be out of a job or prosecuted. Because there are millions of us that feel this way. 77 million people voted for Donald Trump. There are 340 million people in America. There are more of us that feel this way than on that side. And we're not going back. Oh, you've tried to make us go back. I met a lovely trans man in the park yesterday. Well, a man, but a trans man. He's young. I wanted to hug him. He was handsome, too. I wanted to say, you know what? I am so sorry. So I did apologize to him. I said, but what you're going through now, I went through in the 80s. And guess what, honey? You're going to make it. And you're going to win. And you're going to be on the other side of this one day. And if you can't, then you're going to find a new country where you can go and be yourself. Because maybe America is irredeemable. Maybe it has started its slide into not coming back. Then we break up. We break it up. California, Washington, Oregon, Massachusetts, Vermont, they become their own union. We have the power to create the world that we want. Donald Trump has. Does he have more power than you? You're going to say, yeah, he does. No, he doesn't. He's a human. He craps like everybody else. Well, probably not like everybody else with all the food he eats. But you know what I'm saying? He's just a man. Kristi Noem is just an ugly woman. Pete Hegseth is just a waste of breath and space and just a drunk. These are not superheroes. These are not superhuman people. These are bigoted, racist, horrifying individuals who need to be voted out, impeached, arrested, removed legally. Because we, you and I, we still have the document that makes us great. We still have the Constitution of the United States, one of the most beautiful documents ever written, and it's ours. We just got to find the people who aren't afraid to bring it to life. We just got to find the lawmakers who say, no, this man's fucking demented. Invoke the 25th Amendment or impeach him. We just have to find the people to help us because we've got what we need. We've got each other and we've got the Constitution. And if that fails, if it fails, we still have each other and we can help each other get to safety. Get into states like California or get into Mexico, get into Canada, get into France, get into Portugal. We still have each other. They can't take that from us. So, big changes. It starts with the show's name, The Karel Show. I am not a broadcaster anymore. Broadcasting is towers and radio stations and, even on television, it was towers and no, we live in a streaming digital online world. I do a show. Well, I'm going to start. See, because a radio broadcast is narrow. But I want this show to expand and grow. Guest, travel, fitness, lifestyle, entertainment, movies, music. The stuff that Donald Trump is trying to kill. He's trying to kill the arts. Let's show him he can't. He's trying to kill artists that don't approve of him. And when I say kill, I mean squelch their careers. Let's show them that he can't. He's trying to kill us. He's trying to get us to give up by browbeating us every day with more and more bullshit. Well, you know what I know? I know that your name is all over the Epstein files, you fucking statutory rapist, child trafficker. I know that you are the lowest form of life on the planet because you knew underage girls were having sex, and I'm never going to let you forget that. Oh, maybe the mainstream media will let him forget it. I'm not. That motherfucker sat by and knew that girls were being trafficked. He knew. And he probably participated. He is a low-life piece of shit. And I can say that. You know why? I've got a First Amendment. And guess what? ICE, jackboot thugs who will be prosecuted one day. They will.
Now it's showtime.
So fuck ICE. Fuck them. These ignorant racists. They will be prosecuted. And I call upon states, governors, and local law enforcement to start stepping in and protecting their citizens. I call for more people to file lawsuits against ICE about due process. We can fight them. We need help to fight them. We need governors of our states to help us fight ICE. Just because the federal government deploys them doesn't mean the states have to welcome them. And if Donald Trump wants to go to war with every fucking blue state, let him. The minute California, Oregon, Washington, Massachusetts, Vermont cut off federal funds, guess what? ICE won't be able to happen because they won't be able to pay them. Governors of each state should tell the federal government, we're not giving the federal government one more fucking dime until you get ICE out of our state. Period. You ain't getting our money. You want to see Congress act? Defund them. Defund Congress. Tell your lawmakers, not a dime until ICE is out. Tell corporations, if you donate to any lawmaker that supports ICE, we're shutting your store down. We're not going to shop there. You know, the funny thing about power is you can possess it and not use it. And that's what they count on. They count on us possessing the power, but not using the power. We have to inspire everyone around us to use their power. The power of their voice, the power of their vote, the power of their wallet. Because that's how we win. We are more powerful than Donald fucking Trump. We are more powerful than ICE. We are more powerful as a nation than MAGA. We need to remind them of that. And that starts with our lawmakers. We need to get on the phone with them every fucking day until they finally get the message of what we want. And yes, rally and let millions show up. Yes, carry your signs. Yes. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up. We don't need violence. We don't need weapons. We have all the weapons we need. Our brains. You and I are smart. They're not. We have all the weapon we need. Our vote and our wallet. And our passion. And our compassion. And our empathy. Those are powerful tools. We have them. They don't. That's how I know we're going to win. And if we don't, if America does keep declining, then we have the ability to band together and get out. Maybe you can't do it on your own. Maybe it's going to take banding together with a group of friends and pooling your money. When it comes to that, we'll get through it. If it comes to that, even later this year, if we see the Democrats losing the midterms or Trump doesn't allow elections or whatever, and it really does become clear that we need to get out, then we use the show to band people together and let them pool their resources to get out. If the ship sinks, we're still going to have a lifeboat. They're not. MAGA will go down with the USA. We won't. So either way, we're good. We're good. We'll fight as long and as much as we can, and if it does become a losing battle, we will band together with each other and either get our states to secede from the Union, or if California and other states won't secede, then we'll band together as friends and we will leave. We'll pool our resources and we'll go. You and your neighbor, you and your family, you and your cousins, you and your mom and dad, whatever. And don't say I can't. You can. There's another myth that you can't afford to leave America. You can. It may not be for a life on the Champs-Elysees, but do you know in Bangkok, Thailand, you can rent a gorgeous condo for $500 a month and they have excellent health care? I'm not saying it's forever. I'm just saying it's until Trump falls. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. But if it does in 2027, if Democrats lose the midterms and he keeps starting wars over what, Greenland? No one wants him to take Greenland, and they're not going to let him. Venezuela, no one's buying into his oil deal. It's all blowing up in his face. And it's going to keep that. He pictures himself Putin. He does. And he thinks he can stay in power like Putin. Here's the difference, Donald. We're not fucking Russia. Okay? Russia doesn't have a constitution. We do. And you can stomp on it, and you can try to tear it up. But the Constitution was printed on hemp, honey. It's hard to rip. It's enduring. That document's lasted 225 plus years, and it's going to last beyond you, Clarence Thomas. We're going to get rid of a Supreme Court that doesn't work for the people, that works for their own political ideology. Oh, it's going to take time. We can't clean up this mess in 5 minutes. But it's not going to take years. If the Democrats get in and they don't do as quickly what Donald Trump did, if they don't issue a flurry of executive orders when a Democratic president takes over in 2028 to undo all the damage, then fuck the Democrats too. Oh, yes, honey. Yes. Yes, Phineas, a 4-year Trump escape. You know what, Phineas? You're on to something. You're on to something, Phineas. You're on to something. A 2-year escape Trump cruise. I bet we could get cruise lines to do that. You buy into a cruise, you get a stateroom, and for 2 years, it just sails around the world. You're not in America. See? Creative ideas. You think, oh, that could never happen. Yes, it could. Anything can happen because we can make anything happen. Everything on planet Earth, we made happen for mankind. So we can make whatever we want happen for mankind. All right, when we come back, nurses on strike, a depression cure. We've got so much. Iran protests, Golden Globes. We got so much to talk about. So much. Don't go anywhere, okay? All righty? I'll be right here in purple. Don't I look good in purple, honey?
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
All right, it is the Karel Show. How about a dance break? We need a dance.
I danced because we did. I danced because we could. I danced to show the world. I danced to show the hood. I danced to feel you near. I danced to hold you dear. I danced to be the...
That, of course, is I Dance Because. The video will be out in a week. Please go stream it. I Dance Because by Karel, K-A-R-E-L, at iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, wherever you get your music. Karel, K-A-R-E-L, I Dance Because. Go dance. Go carry on. Feel good, baby. All right, nurses. The largest nurses strike in New York's history. 15,000 or 150,000? I'll have to check the number. A lot. A lot of them are on strike. And that pisses me off. Because we should give nurses every fucking thing that they want. Honey, it ain't the doctors that should make the big bucks. It's the nurses. If you've ever been in a hospital, you know as well as I do, it is the nurse, not the doctor, that is responsible for most of your health care. And we should be giving them anything they want. You know, when I had appendicitis and went in the hospital and had emergency surgery on New Year's Eve, many years ago to now 20 years ago, when I woke up, they said I was going to die. They didn't tell me that. They told all of my friends that. I had a horrible infection and I had tubes coming out of me and I was on 3 IVs on an IV pole and morphine and it was just such a time. And people were coming into my hospital room like I was going to die. They didn't tell me they thought I was going to die. They told everyone else they thought I was going to die. And I'll never forget all the antibiotics. That's what I'm worried about with the Augmentin, which is why I'm taking a probiotic. All the antibiotics gave me just explosive you-know-what. And not thinking one day, I got up to use the bathroom instead of the bedpan. And the minute I touched my feet on the ground and took one step towards the bathroom, whoosh, all across the room, the back of the wall of the room, just like a bad horror movie. And I started crying. And the nurse came in and saw what had happened. And she said, "Oh, honey, don't move." And she came back with a big cloth and a spray bottle. And she moved me forward and literally sprayed my backside and wiped me down, my whole body. Then she took another towel and started to clean up. And I looked at her crying and said, how can you even do this? And that nurse looked at me and said, "Honey, I could do this eating a Snickers bar." And that just made me laugh and stop crying. When I got out of the hospital, I brought a Snicker bar bouquet back to that nurse. Yep. Because nurses are the basis of healthcare. They should be paid and paid well. They should have everything that they want. And I support their strike. These billion-dollar corporations, United Healthcare and Humana and all of them, start paying your fucking nurses. The medical system would grind to a halt without them. Most of them no more than doctors. Most nurses I trust more with medications than doctors. So trust your nurses. Empower your nurses. Pay your nurses. Stop treating them poorly. Stop making them travel all over. Stop making them work ridiculous hours for low pay. Stop putting their lives at risk. Do you know in Long Beach alone, 84 people have died of the flu? The flu. 84. Do you know nationally we're now up to 7,500 deaths from the flu? And that means that ERs are overworked that hospital beds are overworked. And who takes the brunt of that overwork? Not the doctors, the nurses. We need nurses. And so in New York, I say good for you. And it's time we acknowledge that we should pay them and treat them with dignity and respect. Because they are the foundation on which the healthcare system is built.
If you're
not
visiting
doctors,
reallycorel.com
not insurance
daily,
agents.
You're
Nurses.
missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallycorel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Oh, I agree with the chat room at youtube.com/reallycorel. Teachers as well. Why the fuck do we always overpay the wrong professions? I'll never understand that. Look, I'm an entertainer, okay? I am, through and through, and I'm going to start being one more. And yeah, if I go do a show, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, yes. You know, I'm experienced, I have talent, yeah. But it's ridiculous that we pay actors, successful actors, more. For instance, Connor's story, they pissed me off last night, the Heated Rivalry Boys. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they were paid $85,000 each to film the series. That's about $12,000 an episode. Now, that's not that much money given how popular the series has become and how much money it's making for people. So it's not that much money. But at the same time, that's more than a teacher makes in a year. That's more than a teacher makes in a year. These were no-name actors going in to do a series that they thought was just going to be a small series. They didn't even know it was going to be this huge international success. And they got $82,000, $83,000 each for acting. And it was hard. Connor's story learned Russian. They earned their money. But when an actor can make $80,000 for 6 episodes that take him 8 months to film, but a teacher only makes $60,000 for a 12-month job, something's wrong there. Okay? When a doctor can make more than $1 million a year, but a teacher that teaches him to be a doctor makes $50,000, something's wrong. When a nurse only makes $60,000 or $70,000 a year, but the doctor she's helping makes millions, something is wrong. We pay the wrong people. We pay every congressperson $120,000+ a year. Why? Why? Why don't we pay teachers as much as a member of Congress? Why don't we pay nurses as much as a member of Congress? Their job is far more important than a congressperson. Congress people are not that important. They're not. It is really a part-time job. It really is. They work 120, 130 days a year. It's not a full-time gig. It was never meant to be a full-time gig. Our founders did not envision Congress being a full-time job. They still had their lives. They still had their farms. They still had things to do. We pay the wrong people. Someone says, Karel, this is truly the end times. Look at all the warning signs. Nope. And ever since the dawn of man, every society has thought they were living in end times. Everyone. You can ask any historian. Every society thought they were living in the end times. They're not. Much like Celine Dion's heart, we will go on. Now, will there be billions of us going on? Maybe not. It's like the planet. We're not destroying the planet. We're destroying our ability to live on the planet. Climate change, the planet will still be here. It'll still spin around. We could blow half of it up with a nuclear war, and the other half would still spin and circle the sun. The planet don't care from us. It'll still be here. We won't. It's not the end of times. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of new times. Now, there may not be times you like, but it's not the end. It's the beginning. Every day is the beginning of a new time. We have not lived this time right now. It is 10:49 on January 12th, 2026, and we have never lived this minute before. Ever, unless you're Shirley MacLaine. Other than her, we have never lived this moment before. At all. So it's a new beginning. Tomorrow is far away, and it's a new beginning. We're not there yet. We will begin tomorrow. It's not the end of anything. It's the beginning. When someone dies, that's not the end. It's the beginning of those that love them, new life without them. Every ending is a beginning. So, no, it's not the end. It's not. It might be the end of our culture. It might be the end of the United States. It might be the end of democracy. But then something new will begin. It always does. It always has. It always will. Last night was the Golden Globes. Did y'all watch? It was on CBS. I hate that it was on CBS. But the Golden Globes were last night. And who won? You know that I love entertainment. So the best picture was Hamnet. Most of you haven't seen it. I tried to watch it 3 times. Fell asleep each time. I just fell asleep each and every time. It's Shakespeare. It's wordy. And yeah, it's dramatic and it's all those things, but fell asleep. Just, and I like wordy movies, but it was okay. Yeah. It's about Hamlet. It's about Shakespeare, his wife, their son who dies. He wrote his most famous play after his son died as his way of grieving. And this woman in the woods, his wife, I'm like, what the hell is this movie about? And by the way, I'm just not fascinated with William Shakespeare's story. I'm not. Nor do I think his works were the greatest works to ever exist. So Hamnet won Best Picture. Musical or comedy, one battle after another. It is neither a musical nor a comedy. And it's not good. It's not a great film. I would have given it to Blue Moon or Begonia, but they didn't. Only 60 members of the foreign press, by the way. Best Actor, Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent, beating Joel Edgerton, Oscar Isaacs, Dwayne Johnson, Michael B. Jordan, and Jeremy Allen White. That was the foreign press trying to be arty. It's a good movie, and he's a good actor. Jessie Buckley, the wife in Hamnet, won. Again, Best TV series, The Studio. I'm tired of Hollywood giving itself awards. I watched The Studio. It's funny if you're in the industry. If you're not, it's not relevant. Best Limited, Adolescence. Brilliant. I agree with it 100%, although Black Mirror should have won. Best TV series, The Pitt. Abso-fucking-lutely. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Doctors claim it's the most wonderful show. Nurses, people in the industry. If you're not watching it, it's worth getting HBO Max for. Best Actress, Rhea Seaborn in Pluribus. No. That's all I'll say about that. No. That show is overrated beyond belief. And to beat Helen Mirren? No. Best Stand-Up Comedy, Ricky Gervais. Okay. Best Supporting Actress, Adolescence. Yep. Best Motion Picture, The Secret Agent. Well, duh, they gave it to the actor. Animated K-Pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, you should. It's actually kind of a fun movie. Best Director, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Nope. Ryan Coogler should have won for Sinners or Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein, period. Sinners did win Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. Limited Series Dying for Sex, Michelle Williams. I would have given it to Sarah Snook for All Her Fault. Actor in a Limited Series, Stephen Graham for Adolescence. I would have given it to Paul Giamatti for Black Mirror. His episode is one of the best dramatic works on television. Best Actor, Timothy Chalamet in a musical or comedy, Marty Supreme. Neither a musical or a comedy. So I don't get that. But it should have been Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, so they have zero credibility. Best Actress, Rose Byrne. If I had legs, I would kick you. I agree with that. She was brilliant in that movie. Best Screenplay, One Battle After Another. Nope. Best Original Song, K-Pop Demon Hunters. Okay. And a new award, Best Podcast, Good Hang with Amy Poehler. That's all right. Is it the best? No. Speaking of podcasts, Bowen Yang and his cohort on their podcast said no one should give to Jasmine Crockett. And they went off and gave their reasons. Well, I say this with love, Bowen Yang and your friend. Fuck you both. Stay in comedy. Don't stray into politics. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? So just stop. People did that with Kamala Harris. Democrats, liberals, progressives did the same thing. And look where the fuck we are. So shut up, Bowen Yang. Give money to Jasmine Crockett. Help her win. Okay? So yeah, their podcast was, is out there. It's the Culturistas. But I think they should shut up. They don't know what they're talking about. Also at the Golden Globes, Connor Story and Hudson came out, from Heated Rivalry. And they made some jokes. And they were talking about who knows about them and who doesn't. And they said, well, their mothers watch it. Their daughters watch it. They never once mentioned their gay audience. Not once. A gay hockey story about gay joy. And when they're talking about who watched it, and then Connor goes, well, thanks, moms. Thanks, daughters. What about the gay men who are fucking putting food in your mouth? I was really upset with that. I don't know if it was the writers at the Golden Globes or whatever, but they thanked moms and daughters. They didn't thank the gay community for watching the show. Because they figure, well, why thank them? We've got all these women. You know what? Fuck you. It really left a negative taste in my mouth. I like those two. I like the show. It's a great show if you haven't seen Heated Rivalry. But to not thank the gay fans and to thank the mothers and the daughters? No. I didn't like that. No. I didn't like it. So, yeah. All right. So, Golden Globes. Oh, depression cure. That's right. A story that I was following in the news. So, there was, as I age, I get more and more holistic. For instance, with the tooth, they've put me on Augmentin. It's starting to hurt again, by the way. They put me on Augmentin. And I'm always hesitant to take a powerful antibiotic. I am. But nowadays, I'm hesitant to take any drug because of side effects. I had side effects from Prilosec. My joints got sore. And so, being a vegan, which is something we're going to really stress on this show as I am a woke gay vegan, being a vegan has taught me that food is medicine. But the other thing is, as you know, I do the 30 minutes of exercise in the morning, yoga or weights, and then I go to the park for 2.5 miles and run up and down the hills with Ember, and then at night do another mile. Now, it came out yesterday, in the news, that exercise, in a huge trial, a huge study, exercise was proven as effective as antidepressives for depression. Let me say that again. Exercise was proven as effective of a treatment for depression as antidepressives, which means no one should be on an antidepressive except very few people who have real serious issues that won't go away. Every depressed person should be prescribed exercise. Period. Period. It is medicine. It staves off dementia. It staves off heart disease. It staves off depression. And so I still want to encourage each of you every day for an hour to go walking. 1 hour a day. You can break it up a half hour in the morning, a half hour in the evening, whatever. An hour. I need you all to outside. Don't go to a gym and get on a fucking treadmill. I have never understood that. Walk to the gym. People will drive to a gym, go inside, get on a treadmill, shower, get back in their car, and drive somewhere else. Just walk to the fucking gym. Walk to the park. Walk to the store. Walk downtown. Walk around your block. Child. Because I know you're depressed. I'm depressed. Who wouldn't be? We live under a dark orange cloud. Who wouldn't be depressed? So walk. We might all be skinny as rails by the end of the Trump administration if we try to walk out our depression. But hey, at least we won't be depressed.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Alrighty. We are back for the final segment. Thank you, by the way. I don't know why I'm having such trouble with YouTube and the software and everything. I don't know. By the way, this is a large. The other ones I was wearing were extra large. I like the way a large fits better. It shows my manly chest, my little nipples. Gives me a more svelte body. I like it better. I like tight-fitting turtlenecks. Wrap your turtleneck around me, baby. So in the wheel of irony, I would spin it if I had a production budget. Donald Trump sat on TV, probably while sitting on a TV, and said, if Iran harms their protesters, we will intervene. And I about split a gut. Because in America, he's fine with harming protesters. He is just fine with ICE killing us, spraying us, beating us. He's good with that. But he's not good with it in Iran. Did anyone explain the word irony to Donald Trump? Do you think he could understand the irony of saying that if someone abuses a protester in Iran, we're going to step in, but in America, he is letting ICE abuse protesters? And police, remember during Black Lives Matter, how they, harmed protesters? It wasn't under him. I think that was under Biden. But still, we are harming protesters in America. And yet he's upset about them doing it in Iran? Do you think his brain cells have ever met? I think every one of his brain cells is just going on their own journey. They've never banded together to form an actual cognizant thought. They just are all out there on their own. I don't think his brain cells have ever met. And they certainly don't connect with his mouth. Their brain cells do not connect. Because he says shit that is just obtusely ironic and funny. Like, we're not going to let Iran attack their protesters, but as a country, we're going to attack our protesters. We're not going to let Russia invade Ukraine, but we're going to let Israel invade Gaza, we're going to invade Venezuela, and we're going to take over Greenland. Any of you see that as odd? It's sort of like he's from the old school of don't do as I do as I say. Now that kind of parenting doesn't work. Parents have to lead by example. And if the United States wants to be the mommy or daddy of the world, then we have to lead by example. And in that case, we are the Russia in the Russia-Ukraine war. In that case, we are the Ayatollah in Iran. We're not the protesters. We're not Ukraine. It's amazing to me You know, it's just amazing to me. We're not going to let the Iranians attack their protesters, but we are going to let ICE and other agencies attack our protesters. What? We're not going to let Russia invade Ukraine, but we are going to invade Venezuela and Greenland and possibly Cuba and Mexico. What? I wonder if he knows the word incongruous. Probably he doesn't. It's not on the McDonald's menu. But that's incongruous. It doesn't line up. This side doesn't equal this side. So, does he think that the rest of the world doesn't get that? Does he think that you and I don't get it? See, he knows that MAGA doesn't get it because they're fucking idiots. But if you're not an idiot, then you're sitting there going, excuse me? Hello? Question here. Just a small question. If you're not going to let the Iranians hurt their protesters, why are you letting Americans hurt theirs? Of course, if a reporter asked that question, they'd be called stupid and ignorant and mean and nasty, and they'd be thrown out of the press pool. But someone should be asking, sir, why are we still funding Ukraine? Well, because Russia must not invade it. But you invaded Venezuela. You want to invade Greenland. You want to invade Mexico. You want to invade Cuba. You want to invade everything except Melania. You know, I mean, what's that about? All right, leave your comments down below on the show. I fully appreciate them. The podcast is available on all streaming services. Don't forget to go follow on Instagram, Karel Official, Karel Official, and on TikTok, Official Karel. So it's one way on one, the other way on the other. It's Karel Official on Instagram, and on TikTok, Official Karel. Go follow. I need to get 1,000 followers over the next week so I can go live. So please, I need all of you, even if you don't have social media accounts, start one and go follow me, please. I don't have to buy the followers. How embarrassing would that be? But, I mean, I'll do what I got to do. But I can't go live on TikTok. See, because when I really wanted to shed those social media accounts. Also, because when you do, it takes away all your comments that you've made. And I've made some pretty fucked up comments on some posts. Because I was angry, I was mad. You know, what's the Second Amendment for if we're not going to, you know what, that kind of talk is stupid. It's stupid. Ain't no one going to gather up their guns and become a militia and take to the streets and protect their states and protect us from ICE. And that's not even legal. The Second Amendment was never put there so you can pick up arms against the government. That's not what it's about. And like it or not, ICE is the government. So attacking them is attacking the government. That's illegal. Don't do it. Now, if the National Guard wants to do it, okay. If the sheriffs or state troopers want to do it, that's on those law enforcement agencies as to how they protect their citizens. But that's not our job. That's not the country we're in. Nor is it the country I want us to become. You know, MAGA can wave their guns and wave their flags. We don't need all that. We've got intellect. We've got education. We've got each other. I am Karel. It is the Karel Show. Be who you want to be, so long as it doesn't hurt anybody. We'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, January 13th. Until then, stay safe. Don't get shot in the face, please. Avoid conflict. And let's remember we got each other.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karelcast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karelcast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karelcast on your favorite streaming service.